Hey everyone, welcome back to Satanix Reviews. Well, as you can tell, a lot of recent shonen anime seem to be very complex, don't they? I mean, we seem to be going away from all that slice of life crap, all that fan service. The way they throw in all these character deaths and traumatic backstories to show that they don't shy away from the dark stuff. How daring. I've never seen an anime tackle such serious topics like death, depression, trauma, or anything revolving around someone's dramatic backstory. Aside from Danganronpa, Berserk, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans, Code Geass, Madoka Magic. Okay, you can probably tell what today's trope review is going to be. Yeah, I don't know about anyone else, but I'm getting pretty tired of this whole trend in anime where everything needs to come to a halt just so you're forced to feel bad for one, some, or all the characters. Whether it be a major death, a traumatic backstory, or just some sort of dramatic set piece with the intention of making you feel bad, it seems like a lot of modern anime just wants to show you all the worst of humanity, whether it's realistic or not. Now, I'm not saying anime can't have drama that just make anime not as engaging for a lot of viewers because it'd just be seen as nothing but comedy with no conflict whatsoever. Drama's totally fine to have it in anime, but from what I've seen, creators seem to utilize this, in my opinion at least, in the most repetitive ways. I get it how often this happens in anime, and it's just as common, how probably less common, as it happens in reality. But these animes just act like life is just constant major dramatic turn after major dramatic turn. It gets really tiring because you already know that the characters are going to spend God knows how long sulking and being sad when you know something is going to make them feel better. How many ways can you show an anime character crying? How many ways can you show a character explaining that a person's death will be avenged? How many ways can you say how a certain dead character will still remain in your heart as long as you remember them? How many ways can you show characters making the stupidest decisions because for some reason they think we've never seen a character blinded by anger or rage over someone close to them who died, causing them to nearly get killed themselves in the process? Now, before I go on and on about this being handled negatively, I'll try my best to show how this can work in anime. One of my favorite movies of all time is A Silent Voice, which is a movie about characters dealing with depression, death, and even suicide. The female lead is even deaf and she has trouble speaking, so she uses sign language. She gets bullied quite a lot in the movie by other characters, including the main protagonist. It's pretty rough to watch, but the movie is still set in reality. People really do get picked on for being different, and people who choose to be bullies end up growing up realizing that they're not going to make friends all that easily. This movie is heavily dramatic with a lot of depressing scenes. In fact, the last third really does make me teary eyed. So, what? Just set it in a more realistic setting to make the dramatic stuff work better? Actually, you can still make anime from other genres work and still add drama to make it stand out. Cowboy Bebop is yet another favorite of mine, and that has some absolutely chilling dramatic moments with, in my opinion, one of the most perfect endings I've ever seen in an anime. Even slice of life comedies like Komi Can't Communicate have some dramatic moments that show that it does have some charm, especially when dealing with a female lead who has social anxiety. Okay, it's nothing all that serious, but it is enough. For as much as the Dragon Ball franchise constantly retcons the majority of its deaths, it doesn't know how to deal with characters that might not be able to be revived. My favorite anime of all time is Strike Witches, which is an anime with a ridiculously stupid concept. An anime series about young witches who live in the 1940s and use guns to fight aliens without wearing pants because they get in the way of the magic power devices that they put on their legs to make them fly. That sounds like one of the dumbest things you can ever watch, and you're probably asking why I haven't reviewed that yet. Well, first of all, I say it's my favorite anime. Secondly, it does take itself seriously, even with all the fan service and comedy. One of the characters has to deal with the trauma of her comatose sister in the hospital. You know what? I haven't seen that. Her sister isn't dead, she's still alive, but in a coma. That's in one of the first few episodes, but I didn't mind the drama at all. So, I do want to enforce the fact that I don't always hate when drama takes over an anime. With that said, let's get to why you probably clicked on this video, the negative side of this trope. These are the moments in anime where you just say, I don't care, move on, grow up. Now, I'm gonna do my best not to spoil these animes, but just in case, I'm going to discuss Akame ga Kill, Attack on Titan, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 1, as well as a few others, but those might give too heavy of hints for spoilers. As for some of these other ones, they're either not really spoilers or I can say it in a way that doesn't actually spoil what happens. Now, as I said before, drama is fine to have in your anime, but when you have an anime like Berserk, I expect at least someone to have some positive qualities to them. And I'm talking about both the late 90s season and the 2016 sequel. Guts is a character who is constantly pissed off and constantly wanting to be the lone warrior who doesn't want anyone being involved with him because of his traumatic past. God help you if there's a smile on his face or on any other character's face because we need to take this super seriously in a show about fighting demons. You know what else needs to be taken super seriously? Giant robots that fight aliens. That's clearly what people wanted for Neon Genesis Evangelion, right? Forget having likable characters with a fun personality. We can just make them depressed all the time. That's why we have Shinji. While we're at it, let's make his father a total dick and his love interest an annoying bratty bitch. What's that? You think it's cruel to let them all stay alive? Well, first of all, I think one of the movies helped you with that. But watch Akame ga Kill instead. See, it doesn't matter whether you feel a connection with a character in this anime or not, because 90% chance they're going to die anyway. Isn't that just what you wanted to see? Your favorite character being killed off for the sake of drama? Oh, I feel bad for character number 20 who died in this series because it's totally different than character number 7 who died. This anime's super complex because you feel bad for whoever's still alive. Still not dark enough? How about Redo of Healer and Goblin Slayer? No, I'm not talking about those two. And I refuse to watch them. And I refuse to say why I wouldn't want to watch them. I heard about their controversial scenes, and that just sounds sick and twisted and not in a fun way. How about shonen anime like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Well, how about we not only kill off characters, but also dogs as well? Seriously, how many dogs die in this anime? Does the creators just hate dogs? Did a dog bite them as a kid? Anyway, part one has some really forced drama if you ask me. Actually, funny enough, people do agree with me on that, but only for the anime. I heard the manga fleshes out the drama out better, but it doesn't fix the fact that the drama in part one just feels either way too over the top or just nothing. Even comedies like Food Wars say we can't just be a comedy. Let's bring in some serious shit for our third season where it'll get really sad. Clearly, an anime where people get turned on by food and fantasy sequences include people's clothes being ripped off or tentacles come grab the person eating the food will make you feel bad about something realistic. From what I've heard from a lot of people, the finale to My Hero Academia has been getting a bit of a mixed reception considering what happens and what characters get killed off for the sake of wrapping up story arcs. Naruto Shippuden's one of the most famous animes of all time, but one of the main conflicts of the show, Naruto's struggle to bring Sasuke back, was just one big overblown misunderstanding when it could have so easily been fixed had the main characters just explained what was going on. And then we have Attack on Titan with the either absolutely loved or absolutely hated final season, where even the creators tried defending the reasons for their actions. Not only did this anime about fighting titans that kill major characters decide, hey, maybe we should make the audience feel bad for wanting to see these titans dead, but they actually had the nerve to kill off the one character I felt a connection towards just because they had too much personality for the finale. Yes, look it up if you can handle spoilers. The creators actually agree that killing off a character with a fun personality was a logical step because they wanted the finale to be more dramatic. So they had to get rid of any sense of comedy or joy. Even animes I haven't even watched yet, like Jujutsu Kaisen, have creators thinking this way by saying that they can't kill off any characters that the audience hasn't felt like they've established a connection with. That implies anime creators want to kill off beloved characters for the sake of making them feel bad. Look, I'm sure these creators are really nice people in real life. I don't want to start any hate campaigns just because I don't agree with their work, but knowing this just kind of confirms some of my suspicions. So why am I making a big deal out of this when it doesn't bother me in other animes? Well, going back to the examples I used before, I do have to ask myself why I sat through a silent voice, which is a difficult movie for me to sit through. Well, it's because I really like the characters a lot. Either I've been in the same place as some of those characters, or I've known someone like those characters. It's melodramatic as hell, but I don't mind that it is because the movie does a really good job at making me like these characters. So it just makes me all the more thankful when they do make it out okay in the end. I feel the same way towards characters in Cowboy Bebop, Dragon Ball, or Komi. Every single main character in Strike Witches I find super likable because they all have distinct and memorable personalities that makes me really appreciate when good things do happen to them. Now, does that mean the dramatic moments dealing with serious topics are my favorite moments in those franchises? No, my favorite moments are either some of the more epic moments or even some of the more casual moments. I mean, I always say if you want drama, you'll find plenty on the news, but I do understand why people watch animes with the intent of challenging their emotional struggles. Maybe those characters speak to them more, and thus those characters help them get through something. Even something like Death Note, I can see why it's considered a complex show because it's one of the rare occasions your main character becomes more and more of a villain with a god complex. So go ahead and enjoy your Attack on Titans or Madoka Magicas if those characters are enough to make you love a show. Or maybe you just don't care about characters because you want a good plot to experience and nothing else. I don't get into those, but I also love Strike Witches and Dragon Ball, which might not appeal to everyone. Just don't try to convince me to love any anime for being in depth just because of the serious subject matter and character development. Either way, thanks for watching. Till then, everyone.